Hey guys, so it is currently winter break. I am alone in the apartment, hence why I'm filming downstairs actually. Not that you would know because I have yet to film a video in this apartment actually, but yes, I am alone. I am in pajamas, so I look kind of disheveled. There's food all around the back of me, kitchen, like I said. But I wanted to film this because someone explained to me why I have been telling myself that I need to work on redrafting the project that I've been working on all semester, and by all semester I mean I've written 3 chapters, 4 chapters maybe, whatever I did for my senior seminar and turned that in. But I just wrote a very basic 900 word premise for a different novel that just randomly came into my mind today. So I was listening to First Draft by Sarah Enni earlier today, and she was talking to Jason Reynolds, and something he said and something she said brought up this memory, this idea in my head that I was like, oh, I should like turn that into a story. And I was like, but I have no characters for that. And all of a sudden my brain was like, yes, you do. Here's a character. And it gave me a character, and it actually kind of really works. And I was like, okay, so like I'm gonna let this marinate as I usually do, and if it like sticks with me long enough, like all this stuff. And my brain was like, well, here's the rest of the plot, which is great because now I have the rest of the plot. But why do I have this new idea that I now kind of want to work on when I actually need to be working on this other project that I've only outlined? How many chapters have I outlined? I don't even know. I've only outlined 11 chapters of my other project. I'm a very, very detailed outliner. So that's partly on me because looking at this, like, okay, let me see. This whole thing, just for chapter 11, is 352 words. Like, some people's initial drafts of their chapters is 352 words. This is my description of what happens. My chapters average somewhere between 1,600 to 2,000 words, which is a lot. As a zero draft, like, I don't understand why I'm like this, but I am. But this also makes me less motivated to outline and to draft because I know that outlining the rest of this is gonna take freaking forever. Especially because for some reason I thought that this project would take 45 chapters, and I don't think it actually. I highly doubt that it's gonna take 45 chapters. It's probably gonna take 30 something ish chapters, but like, here's the thing. I'm a long chapter writer. Sort of. Like I said, all of my chapters are around 1,600 to 2,000 words, which is a pretty lengthy chapter. That's kind of how I've always been because that's kind of how I measured NaNoWriMo. I would outline with 30 chapters. So I'd write a chapter a day and each day was 1,600 words. So like that's kind of how I've always done it and gotten into the habit of it, which is why I've assumed that all my chapters should be that long. And looking at everything that I put into each chapter, it's no wonder that it's that long. Because like I had a chapter where I was like, I have a chapter here that's 3,448 words because I wrote like the first half of it and then realized I had only written the first half and I was already at 1,600 words. So it just became a much longer and this is why I like the idea now of the zero draft, because I'm word vomiting all this stuff out. And it's good for me because then it's all on the page and I can go back and edit it. I don't understand why I'm not working on this project, and instead I am going with this shiny new idea that I'm like kind of really excited to work on because it's unlike anything else that I've written before, and it's really different because this story, this new shiny idea, is currently called Project Dance, which means I get to write about dancing, which is something I've done for a long time, but I've never written about it because do you understand how hard it is to describe dancing? Like, it's hard enough to describe it in person when you're just talking. Oh, there's a dog outside. Anyways, it's hard enough to describe dancing just by talking about it. Like, certain things you just can't describe and you have to show people. And as dancers, like, we always say, you know you're a dancer when you don't describe it with words, you describe dancing with sounds. And it's like the weirdest thing ever. But if you watch dance videos of dancers explaining dance or like choreographing, you'll notice they explain it with sound. They'll make a motion, but they'll explain it as a sound. They'll, like, it's not going to be like, oh, and then you do this. They'll say something like, and you kind of go da da da, psh. And that's like, it makes sense to all of us. And we're like, oh yeah, I totally understand what you're going for, but you can't write that. And I don't know why, but this book to me now, this new project has to have dance in it, and I don't know how that's gonna work, but I kind of really want to work on it, but I can't. Well, not that I can't. I can. I just don't do well juggling multiple projects at a time. So I should be working on this other thing, Project Ghost, but I can't seem to bring myself to continue outlining, even though I really want to work on it, and even though I really want to write it. And then there's the additional problem that I really want to go back to the story that I did for my 2017 NaNoWriMo, I think? Yeah, 2017, which was originally named The Third Killer as this like temporary title, and since watching a lot of Kit Kavanaugh's videos, I've just kind of like the idea of just naming everything Project so-and-so and whatever, because it's just easier. Like on Christine's channel, she does the initials, I think, of the book, which for a long time, again but better, was just called Book. And now her second book is called BT because that's a placeholder title, but it also works as book 2. So like, it kind of works. I know that Kat also does something kind of similar on her channel because she talks about her projects, and sometimes she has a title for it and sometimes she doesn't. So now I've just kind of started going with everything like Project whatever, and I don't do colors, which is what Kate Kavanaugh does. I just do something that kind of describes the novel, sort of. So my 2017 novel is now affectionately dubbed Project Ceiling Cat because there's this whole thing that my character does with the cat in the ceiling. Not a real cat. Just there's at some point in the story there's a cat in the ceiling. So it's been affectionately dubbed Project Ceiling Cat. I really want to reread that and actually reread it and not stop halfway through, because I got halfway through it. And I want to work on that too, but I'm in the middle of rewriting Project Ghost from scratch, which was my 2015 NaNoWriMo novel. So I want to do all this work, and I'm not doing any of it. I'm kind of starting to work on an outline and at least like word vomit out a new project, because that makes perfect sense. Do you see the dilemma here? I don't know what I'm gonna do with this yet. I want to work on Project Ghost. I need to at least finish outlining it, because that would help so much. And once I'm done outlining it, I can start writing it. I'm gonna put Project Dance away because right now, even though I kind of really want to work on it, I really shouldn't be working on it right now because it needs more time to grow and develop as a story. I don't have names for my main characters. I really suck at naming my main characters, and it's such a bad thing. But like, I am just, if you ask my friends, I'm notorious for not naming my main characters. There was a semester where I wrote a bunch of short stories, and if I could get away with not naming my main character, I would do it. Like, I would do everything to avoid giving them a name, because I just didn't want to, because naming characters is hard. Coming up with names is hard. I don't like it. So I don't have names for the people in Project Dance. There are 5 characters right now that I know of that are going to be in the story. I don't even know what style of dance like this girl does. Like, she does a style of dance. I don't know what it is. I don't know what she specializes in. I gotta figure out a lot of stuff for that, but that can be on the back burner for now because I want to work on something else. I really want to work on Project Ghost, but I'm just not doing it. and I don't understand why. All that to say, hi. I'm back? Like, maybe, I don't know. I don't even know what this channel is anymore because, yeah, I don't know what this channel is anymore. There's a huge part of me that wants to film and wants to make content and wants to put stuff up, and there's a huge part of me that doesn't know what to do with that because I'm come to realize I'm not necessarily a booktube channel because I don't really do that enough, at least not enough that I think I can produce content for it. And I'm not an author tube channel really because I don't do that enough either, mostly just because I don't film and upload. That would probably be like 99% of the reason why I'm not either one of those channels. But this channel is something. It's chronicled something. And I like being able to look back on the past and seeing how far I've come as a writer and seeing, especially when I did document my NaNoWriMos in the past, how that worked out. So all that to say, this might be a standalone video. This might have more to it. But whatever the case, now you know that I have a shiny new idea. Yeah,